Well, it is an amazingly beautiful day out. So we're going to do some maintenance on our off-grid system. I've got the batteries are already fully charged. What I'm going to be doing there is turning the solar system off. I have to let the batteries rest for an hour or so and then check the voltage on them because I think I may have at least one battery that's going bad on us. And I've got 3 replacements, so we'll get that figured out. But right now I'm working on the pump room. I've never cleaned the tanks. I know there's a sludge layer that kind of builds up at the bottom of these. So what I've got here is, you can kind of see it, you can't see perfectly through it. The water is actually really clear. I did just throw some bleach in there a little bit ago too. We do about, for a full tank, I'll throw 2 cups in there every now and then for preventative maintenance, mostly in the summertime. I've got a light set up, so hopefully we can see what's going on down there. This is just a pool skimmer with my hose running out. Oh, we got a trailer too. We got an awesome deal on this horse trailer. But anyways, I'm just going to siphon it out. So that hose, I think, was 40, 25 feet, 30 feet, something like that. Anyways, it should be long enough for me to get in there and siphon it out. And then hopefully this will work, but I've got the GoPro bracket right there. So I'm going to hook the GoPro on there and hopefully get down in there, and this light will give enough, show enough light down in there to see what's down there. It's probably going to be pretty mucky after 3 years. Technically, I'm supposed to do this every 2 years, so I'm a year behind. But last year, it was just so dry that the tanks never got full all year. We've had a good rain recently, so the tanks are full right now. So I've got enough volume where I can siphon it out, lose some water, and be okay. So I'll get this started and see how well this goes. Well, that was an unexpected science experiment. I was putting the camera up on the mezzanine and having it facing down into the tank, trying to get where I could get a good lighting. And I went to step down and I knocked the light into the water while it was plugged in and still on. So there's the light. I had it clipped on here and knocked it off and went straight into the water and started to sink. So I'm trying to hop down to get to the plug, which is right there. And it sat in there for probably 15-20 seconds and never burnt out, never shocked or anything. I pulled it up and out and unplugged it and then I pulled it out. But I guess water and electricity do mix sometimes, a little bit. All right, this is attempt number 2. I realized that the camera might have been running when I knocked that off. So I may have some of that on film for you. But we'll go ahead and get this started. To get the siphon going, I've got to get this pipe completely submerged and full of water. Thought about putting a vacuum on it too. Let's hope this GoPro works. Says it's waterproof. We're going to test that theory. Well, that was worth a shot, but it is too dark down in there to see what's going on. So I'm just going to try and get my siphon back going here. It was going really good. I don't really know why I lost it. A good way to get a siphon going is you fill your hose with water all the way. Cup your hand over it. Now, It's really flowing. Yeah, I did smell some of the muck down there, and it was pretty mucky. So I'm looking at my discharge out there, and I can hear some debris going through the pipe. I can definitely tell when I'm hitting a dirty spot versus a clean spot, so I can hear some gunk going through right now. I can see the water gets all dark and nasty out there. It tells me I'm not done with this side yet. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm guessing that's probably roof granules. Can't think of anything else it would be. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. I'm not seeing any more nasty water coming out. So to stop your siphon, just pull it out. That's it. So the fins look pretty clean, a little bit of gunk on them. The reason why I had to do this when the tank was full was for two reasons. One, so we had enough water to lose and not have it hurt our water supply. But also, the higher the water is, the more suction you're going to get, the more pressure you're going to get pulling that water out, because the more drop you have. So as I go lower in the tank, that water has to come up higher before it goes down, and that will slow your suction down. So with our tanks, we're at 98%, pretty much full. I'm getting the maximum amount of suction pulling out, and that helps to clean the tanks out a little better. I did turn the pump off, and I also turned my valve off down there, so that there's no way the water I'm mixing will get into the pump or anything. And I'll probably clean those filters out. I'm going to flush the line down there as well, to hopefully get any other sediment that may be around to get that sucked out. And then, although I just changed my filters, I'll probably go ahead, after it pumps a few times, go ahead and change my pre-filter. And then that's the last time I should have to do this for another 2 years. So I'll go ahead and switch over to the other tank, get that done, then we'll move up to fixing the solar system. I guess for new viewers, I'll go ahead and give you a quick tour of our system here. So on our system, we have two 2,500 gallon water storage tanks. We have 5,000 capacity total. And then all I did was I piped them together here at the bottom. The shutoff valve for the north tank, shutoff valve for the south tank, and then I have a drain valve right there. So if you ever have to drain the tanks, I've also used this to reverse the flow and add water. So we've got, you can't see it right over there, we have a storage tank that sits on the back of a trailer, and I'll back it up in here, and it sits, I don't know, 30 inches off the ground, and I can gravity feed water back into the tank if we get low, and I have had to do that a few times. So it's also for draining the tanks if I need to drain it for some reason. So those two connect, they come over to here, this valve, which would stop it, which is off right now, to stop any water from getting into this pump system itself. This was our old water gauge. This is what we used when we first started to figure out how full our tanks was. So there's a clear plastic tube inside here, and then I just ran the piece of PVC through the table saw to get a nice straight cut. And we put a hair tie on here, and I would raise or lower this based on wherever the water was at. And that's how we gauged how much water we had in the tank back in the beginning. Filter wise, this is our sediment filter. So before anything goes from the tanks and gets into the pump, it goes through a sediment filter, which I will clean that before the day's over too, since I stirred the tanks up. Goes into our pump, have a pressure gauge right there, and it's set at I think 65/45 if I remember correctly. All these little disconnect couplings here is in case I ever had to disconnect the system. So if the pump goes bad, I can disconnect that one, take it out, replace everything, put it all back together. For some reason I had to replace this filter, I can disconnect those. I can disconnect this loop here at the top. I put more disconnects in than I probably needed to. This is our expansion tank. I got this from Tractor Supply, and I would not suggest this tank at all. This is was it Country Line or something like that? Yeah, Country Line. I would not suggest this tank at all. We've already had one go out on us, and I really think this one's going out on us as well. The T that goes into your pressure tank, you can buy them online for like $100, and you get a drain, and you get a pressure relief valve, you get shutoffs. I think there's a pressure gauge in here too. I built all this for like 20 bucks or less, so it's easier to build it, in my opinion. We use that in case I need to drain the system from this side. This is also untreated water, so if we want to do any plants or things like that, we can take it from there, maybe get a little bit extra nutrients in. And then I have a 1-inch pipe comes over through here, comes up. These little nubs is from different setups that I had when I was trying to figure everything out. But right now it just flows straight over. Shut off valve when I'm doing anything with the filters. So I will shut this one off, and I will shut this one off, and I will shut that one off. And that contains the whole filter system in one. I really need to put a shut off here. Would be super convenient, because I'll get that here in a little bit. So here's my pre-filter, and they just look like this. It's just a big filter. I'll jump over to my post filter. It's a smaller one. It goes in here. It's just a paper filter. This is more of a fine sediment filter. That goes into the carbon filter and into the descaler. Here's our post filter. This is if I ever have to drain anything, I can open this up, because these are full of water, so it will drain all those out as well, over and then down. And this is where I kind of messed up at. So we had one UV light, and I thought, well, what's better than one than to get two? Because if one burns out, then the second one would still be going, and we would not get any bacteria into our house. Kind of a fail-safe. But what I didn't take into account is that, hook it up, these are full of air. So I created an air pocket up in here. And the only way to get that air pocket out is to basically loosen the top and let the air flow out while the water's flowing in there. Not the best setup, but again, if I get a shutoff valve here, when I open these valves, or when I take these filters off and water comes out of them, it's not going to drain from here if I do that. So I need to look into adding that shutoff right there. It would definitely help. But eventually the air bubbles get worked out and everything's fine. Ideally, what I needed to do was take this one, mount it up here. This would come over and then up, and then my air pocket could go up into the system and get blown out into the house, and it wouldn't be a big deal. So anyways, water comes out over. This line goes up to the house. This line goes over and then down to the barns. So this pipe going down goes to the barns, and there's also a well down there we still haven't hooked up. But I can reverse the flow on the well, and it will actually pump water back into here, up that pipe, and then over into our tanks. So that was meant if we ever ran out of water, we could use the well, but we've never gotten the well hooked up, so we haven't used it. This also provides water to the barns for the animals. This is supposed to go to our winter garden, which we still have not hooked up. Just a coiled up wire or hose out there right now. And then this one goes to a hose bib on the outside of the wall. Yes.
Yes.
Just going over the system. What are you doing?
I came to ask you something.
What? Is it appropriate?
I mean, I don't know.
The whole world wants to know.
No.
The whole world.
I just wanted to know if we're going to go to the graduation party or not.
If you want to. Just let me know if you want to go.
I want to go.
Okay. We will go.
Okay.
So with that, I got to finish up because the girls want to go to one of their friends' graduation party. But that's our system in a nutshell. There are several videos on our channel where we go through and talk about everything. Real quick while I'm here, I keep a log of all the times I've had to add chlorine or change filters. That's UV. That's the sediment pump filter, pre-filter, post-filter. I need to get a better system because I started writing these on a box and I'm running out of room right there. So on how we treat it is we're just using regular old bleach, just concentrated bleach, and it doesn't take a whole lot. So we really don't have an issue in the wintertime. In the wintertime, the water is colder. There's not a lot of bacteria growing, things like that. You also don't want to kill all the bacteria inside your tanks. There's something called a biofilm, and the biofilm will form on the sides, on the bottom, and there's bacteria in there that will eat all the bacteria that people are worried about. So like, bird poop and bugs and stuff like that fall in there. You have your own little ecosystem inside your tank. And adding a little bit of chlorine, or not chlorine, don't use chlorine, adding a little bit of bleach anyways, which is basically liquid chlorine. Anyways, adding a little bleach knocks down what's in the water, but we found doesn't kill your biofilm. What does kill our biofilm is when we have to get water from the city if our tanks are really low, and we have to backfeed chlorinated water into the tanks. And that usually causes our water to, within a day, we'll start getting a smell. It'll start tasting a little different. And it's because the chlorine went in there and basically killed everything. And for some reason, the bleach doesn't seem to do it, but the chlorine definitely does it. Definitely causes our water to get kind of nasty for a couple days. So bleach, in the summertime, we'll do it. I actually just did it because the tanks were full. We're in between rain, so I figured it'd be a good time to treat it. Usually once a month. Tanks are full, I'll throw 2 cups in per tank. But we really kind of play it by ear. If we start getting the smell in the water, or we start seeing a discoloration in the water, come out here and treat it. It'll be gone sometimes by that evening. If I do it in the morning, it'll be gone by evening. It just takes time for the or the bleach to get through the tanks and dissipate, and then go through your pump system and everything. But it really hasn't been a problem. Our water actually tastes pretty good, and we have had it tested at the university. We just have to get a sample, drive it over to them, and they'll test it for us. And haven't had any issues. There is bacteria in the tanks. We do know that. We've tested it at every little point throughout the system and every faucet inside the house. Definitely the tanks have bacteria in it, but nothing gets into the house. I'll take that back. Some stuff gets into the house, but it's normal bacteria that you get anywhere. So you got to understand that the water that's sitting in your toilet or sitting in your shower does not have chlorine in it. So any spores or anything like that land in that water is going to start growing something. So we do have little chlorine tablets in the stools in the toilets, and our shower curtains, you can see it starts to get a little bit of discoloration on it, which actually happens in town also. At our last house, we were on a well water or a rural water system. We got the exact same stuff, so it doesn't really seem to matter. The gist of it is that the rainwater system works. It was cheaper than us hooking up to rural water. They would have had to bore a line or cut a line really far, over a quarter mile down to our houses through rock, and that would have been at our expense. Plus, they had to bore under the road and then through like a 20-foot drop-down ditch deal, and it was going to be very, very expensive. This whole system, I think I calculated once, is between $5,000 and $6,000 for the whole system. We have no water bills. It runs off solar. No issues whatsoever. I do need to get the well going, because that's the only thing that we lack right now, is when we do go into a drought period during the summer, August, September, and if we don't get any rain in the winter, we'll have to get water during the winter time, or rain in the fall, we'll have to get water during the winter time. But if I had the well hooked up, we could reverse that flow, fill the tanks up with about 2,000 gallons is what we calculate the well will hold, and then it will slowly recoup. 2,000 gallons will get us a month easily. So anyways, that's the well setup. I'll go ahead and get this back tank cleared, and then, or not the well setup, the rainwater system set up. I'll get this back tank cleaned out, and then I will head up to do the solar.